The Africa Prosperity Network was set up with one thing in mind. Essentially, how do we change the narrative and focus from one of poverty alleviation to prosperity accentuation, if you like? Because it shouldn't be just about reducing or alleviating poverty. It's about creating prosperity. And then we thought, what will be the greatest instrument this century to push the prosperity agenda?
We're talking in relation to Africa trade, as you heard from our expert panel there, not only about the huge potential that this continent holds, but indeed where we could take it to, how much greater the wealth, the prosperity we could create for the people, the 1.4 billion people in this continent, but how we could also raise living standards across the board.
A continent that is poor in its riches and that has tied its value chains inextricably to countries in Europe, Asia, and the Americas definitely calls for systems and processes and procedures that would facilitate production, value addition, and trade within the continent.
The thematic is produce, add value, and trade. The themes are agriculture and food security, natural resources and value addition, and manufacturing as an efficient way to enhance inter-Africa trade.
When we come to Africa Prosperity Dialogue, is that we would like to use our resources to drive industrial development in Africa, to drive job creation and to drive the prosperity of the continent. And as I have said, this year's focus underlines the urgency to transform our vast natural resources and the demographic advantage into productive capacity.
The overarching objective of the Presidential Summit is to have an interactive, face-to-face, candid conversation between heads of state who are political leaders and business leaders. There will be two major roundtables, but preceding that roundtable will be a keynote presentation by an eminent African business leader on the theme, but tagged onto the theme is doing business differently. And an aspect of that conversation will be a fireside chat with that eminent leader.
Media has a critical role in promoting what goes on here, how African countries can leverage what AFTA is providing to be able to develop the continent. We have an important role in disseminating what the program is about, how African countries can interconnect to promote trade within the continent. We have to be more critical and learn how to do that to support the growth of the continent.
The Africa Prosperity Dialogues will take place from the 25th to the 27th of January 2024 at the Peduase Presidential Lodge, Ebri Hills, Ghana. There will also be the Africa Prosperity Champions Awards and Presidential Gala Dinner on the 26th of January at the Kempinski Hotel in Accra, Ghana. To register, go to events.africaprosperitynetwork.com. Africa Prosperity Dialogues 2024, delivering prosperity in Africa. Produce, add value, trade.